live, and on your side. This is KTBS-3 News, Texarkana.
Good evening, I'm Jerry May. 2 men are dead and a third wounded after a shooting in Texarkana. Authorities have identified the deceased as D'Angelo Handy and Ricola Young, both 18 years old. Police responded to the shooting in the 1900 block of West 13th Street just after 6 last night. One died at the scene and the other 2 were taken to the hospital in critical condition, where one of them later died. Authorities are unclear on a motive right now and they don't have a suspect. The investigation continues. A man shot by a Bowie County deputy has died. The Bowie County Sheriff's Office says deputies responded to a reported suicide attempt in Sims, Texas. 60-year-old Mark Peters fired a shot from inside a home, then refused to come out. Peters later came out firing his gun a second time, authorities say. Several hours later, he came outside for a third time, still holding the gun, this time facing officers, and that's when a Bowie County deputy fired one shot, hitting Peters. He was airlifted to a Tyler hospital where he later died. An argument between 2 men led to a stolen car being crashed into parked cars and Christmas trees on the Arkansas side. Police say 41-year-old Jared McDonald was arguing with a man in the 300 block of East Broad Street. McDonald then went into that man's car, drove off with the man hanging onto the door. The man fell off. The suspect kept going but crashed into several parked cars and caused damage to Christmas trees on the Cross Ties property. McDonald was arrested on driving while intoxicated, criminal mischief, and theft of property charges. More than 50 million cases of COVID-19 have now been reported in the U.S. since the start of the pandemic. That's according to data from Johns Hopkins University. Nearly a third of all cases were reported between December 2020 and February of this year. And by the end of March, 30 million cases had been reported. 6 months later, in September, there were 40 million reported cases. And now the U.S. reports more than 50 million cases. More than 1 in 7 people has had COVID-19, or about 15% of the population. Nearly 800,000 Americans have died with COVID. It's been 1 year since the first Americans received FDA-authorized COVID-19 vaccines. Here's New York ICU nurse Sandra Lindsay getting her dose on December 14th of last year. She was one of the first people to get the shot. Roughly 60% of Americans are vaccinated against COVID-19. Still to come on KTBS-3 News Texarkana as we inch closer to the holidays. Advice to help you navigate the stress of traveling with children.